Welcome back to our channel. We hope you'll find valuable content here. If you enjoy our channel, please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Let's dive in. In any field, there are those who excel and then there are those who redefine the very boundaries of that field. These exceptional individuals, often referred to as masters, possess a unique blend of skills, mindset, and abilities that set them apart. But what exactly are these abilities? And how do they enable these masters to think outside the box and find solutions to problems that seem insurmountable to others? The essence of mastery. When we talk about mastery, we're not just referring to someone who is very good at what they do. Mastery goes beyond skill and expertise. It's a deeper understanding, an intuition, a way of seeing the world that is different from others. Masters have an uncanny ability to see patterns where others see chaos, to find solutions where others see dead ends. Imagine walking through a dense forest with no clear path in sight. Most people would feel lost, maybe even panicked. But a master would see the subtle signs, the direction of the wind, the position of the sun, the flow of water, and find their way out. This is the essence of mastery, the ability to navigate challenges with a unique perspective. Visionary thinking. Visionary thinking is one of the hallmarks of real masters. It's the ability to see beyond the present, beyond the obvious, and envision a future that others can't yet see. Visionaries don't just live in the world, they shape it. Think of visionaries like Elon Musk. When most saw electric cars as a niche market, he envisioned a world where electric cars are the norm. His vision wasn't just about creating a new product, it was about changing the way we think about transportation. Adaptability, the key to relevance. The world is in a constant state of flux. Markets change, technologies evolve, and consumer preferences shift. In such a dynamic environment, adaptability is not just a nice-to-have, it's a necessity. Masters understand this. They are not wedded to their ideas or methods. Instead, they are willing to pivot, adapt, and evolve. This adaptability ensures that they remain relevant, no matter how much the world around them changes. The unending quest for knowledge, continuous learning. Mastery is not a destination, it's a journey. And the path to mastery is paved with continuous learning. Real masters are lifelong learners. They are driven by an insatiable curiosity, a hunger to know more, to understand deeper. This quest for knowledge keeps them at the forefront of their fields and fuels their innovative thinking. Thinking outside the box, a different perspective. The ability to think outside the box is perhaps the most celebrated trait of real masters. But what does it really mean? It's not about being contrarian for the sake of it. It's about looking at problems from a different angle, challenging established norms, and finding novel solutions. For instance, when the world was trying to build better landline phones, visionaries like Steve Jobs were thinking of how to make a phone that wasn't bound by wires. The result? The mobile revolution. Breaking the game thinking. In the intricate dance of life and business, there are moments when conventional wisdom and traditional approaches seem to hit a wall. It's during these moments that a different kind of thinking emerges, one that doesn't just play the game but seeks to change it entirely. This is the essence of breaking the game thinking. Transcending current challenges. Every individual, at some point in their life or career, feels stuck. It's a universal feeling, one where despite all efforts, progress seems elusive. But what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary is how they respond to these challenges. For most, the response is to double down, to work harder, to keep pushing against the immovable object. But those who embrace breaking the game thinking take a step back. They question the very premise of the challenge. Instead of asking, "How can I overcome this obstacle?" they ask, "Why is this obstacle here in the first place? Or is there a different game I should be playing?" The wisdom of Einstein. Albert Einstein, one of the greatest minds in history, once remarked that problems cannot be solved with the same mindset that created them. This insight is at the heart of breaking the game thinking. It's about recognizing that sometimes, the very frameworks, assumptions, and paradigms we operate within are the sources of our challenges. Consider the story of the ozone layer depletion in the 1980s. The prevailing mindset was to find ways to repair the ozone layer. But breaking the game thinkers questioned the very activities causing the depletion, leading to the global movement to ban CFCs, the primary culprits. Understanding the root problem. In any challenge, there's the surface problem, the immediate, visible issue, and then there's the root problem, often hidden, underlying, and far more complex. Breaking the game thinkers are like detectives, always digging deeper, looking beyond the obvious, trying to understand the root cause. For instance, in business, if sales are declining, the surface problem might be seen as a marketing issue. But a deeper investigation might reveal a changing consumer landscape or an outdated product, the real root problems. The power of starting over. There's a certain allure to continuity, to building upon what's already there. But sometimes, the most revolutionary solutions come not from building upon but from tearing down and starting afresh. Just as children, when unsatisfied with their Lego creations, might dismantle them to create something entirely new, breaking the game thinkers understand the power of starting over. A classic example is the shift from feature phones to smartphones. Instead of incrementally improving feature phones, companies like Apple decided to reimagine what a phone could be, leading to a revolution in mobile technology. Levels of thinking. In the vast tapestry of human thought, not all thinking is created equal. Just as there are varying depths in the ocean, from the shallow shores to the profound abyss, so too are there levels in our thinking. These levels determine how we perceive challenges, craft solutions, and ultimately, how we navigate the complexities of life and business. The surface and the depths. Imagine standing by a serene lake. On the surface, you see the reflection of the sky, trees, and maybe even your own face. But beneath that calm exterior lies a whole different world, teeming with life, currents, and mysteries waiting to be discovered. Our thinking is much like that lake. The surface thoughts are those that are immediate, reactive, and often based on our instincts or preconceived notions. But as we dive deeper, we tap into more profound, reflective, and nuanced levels of thinking. The elevated mindset of visionaries. History is replete with individuals who didn't just see the world but envisioned what it could be. Thinkers like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and Jeff Bezos didn't accept the world as it was, they imagined a different world and then set out to create it. This elevated mindset is not about intelligence or knowledge, it's about perspective. It's about seeing not just the tree in front of you but the entire forest and beyond. For instance, when many saw online shopping as a convenient way to buy books or gadgets, Jeff Bezos envisioned it as a new way of life, leading to the creation of Amazon, which transformed the retail landscape. The wisdom of elevating your thinking. Albert Einstein once remarked that we cannot solve our problems with the same level of thinking that created them. This insight underscores the importance of elevating our thinking. When faced with a challenge, it's natural to approach it with our existing knowledge and tools. But sometimes, the solution lies not in what we know, but in transcending that knowledge and looking at the problem from a higher vantage point. Consider the challenge of sustainable energy. The immediate approach might be to find more efficient ways to extract and use fossil fuels. But an elevated level of thinking would question our reliance on fossil fuels in the first place and seek alternative, sustainable energy sources. The journey to deeper thinking. Elevating our thinking is not a one-time event, it's a journey. It requires introspection, a willingness to challenge our assumptions, and the humility to accept that we don't have all the answers. It's about continuously seeking knowledge, understanding different perspectives, and being open to new ideas. Understanding the root problem. Life, in its myriad complexities, often presents us with challenges that seem insurmountable. These challenges, whether in business, personal life, or societal issues, often come with layers of intricacies. At a glance, it might seem like the problem is evident, but upon closer inspection, one realizes that the real issue often lies beneath the surface. This chapter delves into the art and science of understanding the root problem. The iceberg analogy. Picture an iceberg floating in the vast ocean. What we see above the water is just a fraction of its entire mass. The bulk of the iceberg, its true size and shape, is hidden beneath the surface. Similarly, problems often present themselves as visible symptoms, but the real cause, the root problem, is submerged, out of immediate sight. For instance, a company might notice a decline in sales. The visible problem is the drop in numbers, but the root cause could be anything from poor product quality, outdated marketing strategies, to changing consumer preferences. Peeling the onion, layers of a problem. Just as an onion has multiple layers, so do most problems. To truly understand the root cause, one must be willing to peel back these layers, one by one. This process can be emotional, challenging, and even uncomfortable, but it's essential for genuine resolution. Imagine a team with internal conflicts. The immediate issue might be frequent disagreements and lack of collaboration. But as you peel back the layers, you might discover trust issues, lack of clear communication, or even personal biases affecting team dynamics. The power of why. One of the most potent tools in understanding the root problem is the simple question, why? By continuously asking why, to every answer, we can drill down deeper into the issue, moving past symptoms and getting closer to the root cause. For example, if a business is losing customers, asking why might reveal that the product is not meeting expectations. Asking why, again, might show that the product development team lacked a clear understanding of customer needs. Continuing this line of questioning can lead to the core issue that needs addressing. The danger of surface solutions. Addressing only the visible symptoms without understanding the root cause is like putting a band-aid on a deep wound. It might cover the problem temporarily, but it doesn't provide a lasting solution. Moreover, surface solutions can sometimes exacerbate the issue, leading to more significant challenges in the future. The power of starting over. In a world that often values continuity and building upon existing foundations, the idea of starting over can seem daunting, even counterintuitive. However, there's an inherent power in the act of beginning anew, of wiping the slate clean and approaching challenges with a fresh perspective. This chapter explores the transformative potential of starting over and the circumstances under which it can lead to breakthroughs. The tabula rasa, a clean slate. The concept of tabula rasa, or the clean slate, has philosophical roots. It suggests that individuals are born without built-in mental content, and knowledge comes from experience and perception. In the context of problem-solving and innovation, the idea translates to shedding preconceived notions and biases, allowing for a fresh, unbiased approach to challenges. Consider the realm of technology. There have been instances where instead of incrementally improving an existing product, companies have chosen to redesign it from the ground up, leading to revolutionary innovations. Children and the art of rebuilding. Children, in their innocence and curiosity, often exhibit the power of starting over. When playing with building blocks or drawing, they aren't afraid to dismantle their creations and begin anew if they aren't satisfied. This uninhibited approach allows them to explore multiple possibilities and learn through trial and error. In the adult world, this translates to the willingness to pivot in business, to reevaluate strategies, and to be open to change, even if it means discarding months or years of work. The risks and rewards. Starting over is not without its risks. There's the potential loss of time, resources, and even the emotional toll of letting go of something one has invested in. However, the rewards can be significant. By starting over, individuals and organizations can break free from constraints, discover new avenues, and ultimately achieve outcomes that might not have been possible within the confines of the old approach. Embracing the cycle of renewal. Life, in many ways, is cyclical. Seasons change, civilizations rise and fall, and nature constantly renews itself. By embracing the power of starting over, we align ourselves with this natural cycle, recognizing that endings can be new beginnings and that there's potential in every fresh start. 3 levels of effort. Effort is a universal concept, understood and valued across cultures and societies. It's the fuel that drives ambition, the force that turns dreams into reality. However, not all effort is the same. Depending on how it's directed and applied, effort can yield vastly different results. This chapter delves into the 3 distinct levels of effort and how they influence outcomes. Low-level effort, the hamster wheel. Imagine a hamster running tirelessly on a wheel. It's putting in a lot of effort, expending energy, but despite all its hard work, it's not really going anywhere. This is the essence of low-level effort. It's when individuals or organizations work hard but don't see significant improvement or progress. They're stuck in a loop, doing the same things over and over, hoping for different results. For instance, a student might spend hours memorizing facts for an exam but still struggle to understand the core concepts. Or a business might invest heavily in advertising but fail to see a boost in sales. Methodological effort, the trial and error. This level of effort is characterized by a more systematic approach. Individuals or entities try different methods to solve problems, experimenting with various strategies to see what works best. While this approach is more structured than low-level effort, it might still not yield the desired results if the methods applied aren't aligned with the core challenges. A classic example is the scientific method. Researchers hypothesize, conduct experiments, analyze results, and then refine their hypotheses based on findings. It's a continuous cycle of learning and adapting. Strategic effort, the guided missile. The highest level of effort is strategic effort. Here, individuals or organizations are not just working hard or trying different methods, they're laser-focused on core goals and apply strategic thinking to achieve them. It's like a guided missile that knows its target and adjusts its trajectory in real time to ensure it hits the mark. In the business world, companies that operate at this level have a clear vision, understand their market and customers deeply, and align all their resources and efforts towards achieving specific objectives. The journey from low to strategic. Transitioning from low-level effort to strategic effort is not a linear journey. It requires introspection, continuous learning, and the willingness to adapt and change. It's about understanding not just what you're doing, but why you're doing it, and ensuring that every action taken is aligned with the broader goals. Breaking the game thinking. In the ever-evolving landscape of business and life, challenges are inevitable. However, the way we approach these challenges can make all the difference. Traditional problem-solving methods often focus on addressing the immediate issue at hand. But what if we could transcend these challenges by elevating our mindset? This chapter introduces the concept of breaking the game thinking, a transformative approach to problem-solving. Beyond the conventional. The term breaking the game might sound aggressive, but it's more about breaking free from conventional thinking patterns. It's about not just playing the game but understanding its rules so deeply that you can change them to your advantage. Imagine a chess match. Traditional players focus on their next move, but a player with a breaking the game mindset is thinking several moves ahead, anticipating the opponent's strategy, and devising a plan to change the entire flow of the game. Einstein's wisdom. Albert Einstein once remarked, "We cannot solve our problems with the same thinking we used when we created them." This insight is at the heart of breaking the game thinking. It's about recognizing that to overcome challenges, we need to elevate our mindset, to think differently than we did before. The power of perspective. At its core, breaking the game thinking is about perspective. It's about seeing challenges not as obstacles but as opportunities. It's about asking not just how can we solve this, but how can we turn this to our advantage. For instance, when faced with market competition, instead of merely trying to outdo competitors, a company with a breaking-the-game mindset might look for ways to redefine the market itself, creating a new niche where they can lead. Embracing change and innovation. Change is the only constant, and those who embrace it are the ones who thrive. Breaking-the-game thinking is inherently innovative. It's about not being content with the status quo and always looking for ways to innovate, evolve, and stay ahead of the curve. Emphasizing the importance of breaking out of one's current mindset. Mindset is a powerful tool. It shapes our perceptions, influences our actions, and determines our reactions to challenges. However, sticking to a fixed mindset can limit our potential and hinder growth. This chapter delves into the significance of breaking out of one's current mindset to see bigger opportunities and achieve greater success. The fixed versus growth mindset. Dr. Carol Dweck, a renowned psychologist, introduced the concept of fixed and growth mindsets. Individuals with a fixed mindset believe that their abilities and intelligence are static and cannot change. They avoid challenges, fearing failure, and often feel threatened by others' success. On the other hand, those with a growth mindset believe that abilities can be developed through dedication and hard work. They embrace challenges, learn from criticism, and find inspiration in others' success. The trap of comfort zones. Comfort zones are cozy, familiar, and safe. But they're also limiting. Staying within the confines of what we know and what we're comfortable with can prevent us from exploring new horizons and realizing our full potential. Breaking out of this mindset means pushing boundaries, taking risks, and being open to new experiences. Imagine a bird in a cage. Even if the door is open, the bird might stay inside because it's familiar. But once it ventures out, it discovers the vast sky and the freedom to fly. Seeing bigger opportunities. When we break free from our current mindset, we start seeing opportunities that were previously invisible to us. It's like wearing a new pair of glasses that bring clarity and broaden our vision. This expanded perspective allows us to identify gaps, innovate, and create value in areas we hadn't considered before. The journey of transformation. Breaking out of one's current mindset is not a one-time event, it's a journey. It requires self-awareness, continuous learning, and the courage to challenge our own beliefs. It's about being adaptable, resilient, and always hungry for growth. The role of continuous learning in business success. In today's fast-paced world, the only constant is change. Industries evolve, technologies advance, and consumer preferences shift. For businesses and individuals alike, the ability to adapt and stay relevant hinges on continuous learning. This chapter delves into the significance of lifelong learning in ensuring sustained business success. The evolving business landscape. The business world of today is vastly different from that of a decade ago. Digital transformation, globalization, and the rise of startups have reshaped industries. Companies that once dominated the market have been dethroned by innovative newcomers. The key differentiator? A commitment to continuous learning and innovation. The lifelong learner. Lifelong learners are individuals who are always curious, always seeking to expand their knowledge and skills. They don't see learning as a phase that ends with formal education but as a continuous journey. In the business context, these are the leaders who invest in upskilling, attend workshops, and are always on the lookout for trends and insights that can drive growth. Learning organizations. A learning organization is one that facilitates the learning of its members and continuously transforms itself. Such organizations foster a culture of curiosity, encourage experimentation, and see failures as opportunities for learning. They invest in training programs, create knowledge-sharing platforms, and prioritize feedback. The competitive edge. In a saturated market, continuous learning provides a competitive edge. It equips businesses with the latest tools and strategies, helps them anticipate market shifts, and ensures they remain customer-centric. It's not just about staying updated, it's about staying ahead. Conclusion. In the journey of business thinking, we've traversed various concepts, from the abilities of real masters to the importance of breaking out of one's mindset. The common thread binding all these concepts is the emphasis on adaptability, strategic thinking, and continuous growth. In the ever-evolving world of business, static strategies and fixed mindsets are recipes for stagnation. To thrive, one must be willing to learn, adapt, and innovate continuously. Whether it's understanding the root of a problem, embracing the power of starting over, or recognizing the different levels of effort, each concept underscores the importance of a dynamic approach to business challenges. As we conclude this exploration, the key takeaway is clear: success in business isn't just about hard work, it's about smart work. It's about understanding the nuances, seeing the bigger picture, and being prepared to pivot when necessary. In the words of Charles Darwin, it is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent, it is the one most adaptable to change.